There is a simple C4 framework that will completely transform your relationship. It will instantly fix any problems with your partner. You'll have fewer arguments, less resentment, more sex, more connection, better communication. And what's great is it also affects every other area of your life. If you want to make more money, if you want to be happier, if you want to be successful, whatever your goals are, this C4 framework will change the game for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how it works and how you can implement it in less than 30 minutes. If you're new here, my name is Toni Versic, and this channel is for you if you want to have better relationships and take your power and purpose back as a modern day man. So let's jump into the C4 framework. And C4 refers to something called clarity. Clarity is being able to see. Imagine your relationship is a vehicle and you're driving on the highway. If you turn right without checking your blind spot, you can kill everyone in that vehicle, you can kill the truck driver, you can cause catastrophic damage. And it's the exact same in our relationships. Without clarity, we cannot see, and without clarity, it's very difficult to move forward. Clarity is having awareness and knowing exactly where you are in your relationship, where you want to go, what's holding you back, and knowing exactly what you need to do to move forward and improve the quality of your relationships. There are 4 pieces to clarity, and make sure you stick around to the end of this video, because if you're missing one piece, it can cause catastrophic damage. So the first quadrant of clarity is called the painful truth. By definition, if you want to improve your relationship, it means you're currently not where you want to be. You might be arguing, you might not be getting intimate, you might be having too little sex, you might be feeling a lack of connection. This is the raw truth of the situation that you're currently in. This is called point A. This is your starting point. Imagine putting a destination into Google Maps. In this example, an amazing relationship. It's very difficult to get to that destination if you don't know where your starting point actually is. So clarity on the starting point is extremely important. And how do we actually get that? Well, we do it by asking 2 simple questions. First, you need to get your partner's opinion. You do this by asking them, what are the problems in our relationship? What do you feel is not working right now? And this might be difficult to do, but it's not as difficult as them saying, I don't love you anymore, or leaving you with a broken family or a broken heart. Often we sweep things under the rug because it's difficult to hear these sorts of things, but those results can destroy your relationship. So you must have clarity by getting your partner's opinion on what they see and feel and think the problems currently are with the two of them. The second step for clarity with the raw truth is to take 5 minutes to write down a list of what you think the problems are in the relationship. What do you feel is currently not working? Write a list of everything that could be better. Not enough sex, too many arguments, resentment towards each other, a lack of appreciation, being stressed after work, not enough time. Write down all the problems, all the things that are currently going on that are not working in your relationship. Answer these questions by creating this list, and you're going to have complete clarity on the painful truth, which is point A. But this alone is not enough. And that's where quadrant 2 of clarity comes in. And this section is called the compelling vision. What's crazy is most couples don't actually have one. How can you have a great relationship if you don't know what the definition of a great relationship actually is? You should be excited about the future together. You should have dreams, hopes, and desires. And if you don't, it means that you're lacking a vision. You're lacking a North Star and something to guide you forward. It's a lot easier to improve your relationship if you know what that looks like. It's a lot easier to hit a target if you know what you're aiming for. We do this in business, we do it in health, we set goals, but when do we do this in our relationships? So just like before, we create clarity by asking 2 very simple questions. These questions help us establish exactly what it looks like in our relationship when we have that compelling vision. The first question is, what do you actually want your relationship to look like? Do you want more sex? Do you want a deeper connection? Do you want better communication? Do you want to feel that spark again? If you could wake up tomorrow morning and have the relationship of your dreams, what would that look like? Write down all the aspects of that in a list format. The second question is, what is the opposite of all the problems we found in clarity of the painful truth? If one of the problems is that you're arguing too much, the opposite of that is calm, clear, honest communication. If one of the problems is not enough sex, the opposite of that is intimacy, sex, and feeling wanted by your partner. Take 5 minutes with a pen and paper and write a list of all the things that are the opposite of the problems and exactly what you want your relationship to look like. So now you're going to have a starting point of the painful truth, point A, and you're going to have a compelling vision, point B, which means now you have a map. But by definition, if you're not currently where you want to be, that means that there's something holding you back from getting there. And that's where the third quadrant comes in, which is the roadblocks. The roadblocks are the things that are holding you back from getting what you want. We have these in every area of our life. Now, it's very likely that your partner is a contributing factor to the quality of your relationship. He or she may be a roadblock, and they probably have a role to play. They are not blameless, but unfortunately, you cannot control them. I've tried this with my wife, Rosie, and it went down like a cold cup of sick. It doesn't work. You cannot control your partner. So if we cannot control them, the only thing that we can control is ourselves. And I guarantee there are currently things you do every day or every week that block you from having the relationship that you want. These things you do create some of these problems and take you further away from the vision, which was quadrant number 2. So to get clarity on the roadblocks, take another 5 minutes, you've already done 10, and get clarity on these 2 questions. What are you currently doing to make things worse? What are you currently doing to create these problems in your relationship? Are you working late? Are you coming home grumpy and stressed? Are you yelling at the kids? Are you drinking too much, or have you let yourself go physically? What are the things that you do? Look in the mirror and ask yourself what you can take responsibility for in this relationship. It might be a long list, but once it's done, go to the second question. What are you currently not doing? Are you not spending enough quality time with your partner? Have you stopped acting like you did at the beginning of the relationship? When Rosie and I started dating, I would get her flowers, I would take her out to dinner multiple times a week. Then the business got busier, I ran out of time, we had kids, and I stopped doing the things that made her fall in love with me. So write a list of 2 different areas. What are you currently doing each day that creates the problems in the relationship? And what are you currently not doing that's getting you further away from the vision, that's blocking you from having what you want in your relationship? With clarity on these 3 quadrants, you're on the verge of having the best relationship you've ever had in your life. You know exactly where you are and what the problems are. You know exactly what you want to achieve and what your vision is. You know what's holding you back and what you can take responsibility for. But none of that shit matters unless you have the 4th and final quadrant. None of the shit matters if you don't do anything about it. And that's where the map comes in. This is the massive action plan. It's having clarity on exactly what you need to do to achieve those goals in your relationship. The only way to have a better relationship is to take action. It's to do something about it. And because you have clarity on where you are, where you want to go, what's holding you back, it's a lot easier to do something because now you can see all the components of this relationship. Now all you need is to create a plan and then to take action on the fucking thing. And it's extremely simple to do. It takes 5 minutes, which takes us to a total of 20 in this exercise. Just as before, you take 5 minutes to answer 2 simple questions. Question number 1, what can you start doing, or what can you do more of? Because you have a list of things that you're currently not doing, you can now easily see which one of those things you can start doing. If there's things that you do that make your relationship better, but you're not doing enough of them, you can do more of them, which by definition means you have less problems and more solutions. Is it something as simple as telling your partner you appreciate her, getting her flowers, taking her out on a date or to dinner? Maybe just helping out around the house. What can you start doing? What can you do more of? Write a list of all these things. Once you have that list, choose the top 4 things that are going to get you the fastest, most impactful results in your relationship. What are the top 4 biggest needle movers? This is called your start doing list, and it's going to be the first thing you implement to improve your relationship. The second question is, what can you stop doing, or what could you do less of? Because you have a list of roadblocks, things that you're doing that are causing these problems, you can then decide to stop doing them, or you can do less of them if they're not entirely possible to stop. Can you stop working so late? Can you stop drinking at the end of the day? Can you stop getting triggered and bringing stress home and then taking it out on your family? Can you spend less time on your phone or watching TV and more time actually communicating with your partner? Write a list of all the things that you can stop doing and all the things you can do less of. And just like before, choose the top 4 needle movers. If you stop doing these 4 things, how much of an impact would they have on the quality of your relationship? Once you have your start doing list and stop doing list, you have a complete action plan of tens of things you can do to instantly improve the quality of your life, of your marriage, and of the connection with your partner. By this point, you know where you are, quadrant 1, you know where you want to go, quadrant B, you know what's holding you back, and you know exactly what to do about it, despite what's holding you back, despite the obstacles, despite the excuses or reasons that have stopped you from getting what you want. You have a truth, you have a vision, you know what the roadblocks are, and you know what you get to take action on. Which comes to the final step, commitment. It's deciding that every week you're going to take one of these things from your start doing list and one of the things from your stop doing list, and you're gonna do it no matter what, no excuses. Next week, you're gonna start helping out with the kids every single night, and you're gonna stop drinking when you come home from work. The following week, you're gonna start doing more of gift giving, giving her flowers, and you're gonna stop bringing your stress home. You're gonna find a way to remove it. These are just some simple examples, but you can see how very quickly, within a day, a week, a month, and a year, if you start doing more of the things that make your partner love you, and you do less of the things that fuck up your relationship, things are instantly gonna get better. As I mentioned earlier, this exercise takes less than 30 minutes. And there's actually something simple you can do to make it even better, which I'm about to share with you very, very soon. But before I do, let's recap the video. Without clarity, we cannot see. Clarity is a blind spot. A blind spot can kill you in a car. It can ruin your relationships. When you have clarity, you know where you are, quadrant 1, the truth, point A. You know where you want to go, quadrant 2, the vision. You know what's holding you back, the roadblocks, and you know what you need to take action on. You do this by taking 5 minutes for each of these areas. Ask your partner what they think the problems are and what's not working, and then take 5 minutes to write down what you think the problems are in the relationship and what you feel like is not working. To create clarity on the vision, take 5 minutes to write down what you want your relationship to look like and to write down what is the opposite of all the problems. To get clarity on the roadblocks, write down what am I currently doing to make things worse and what am I not doing that's preventing me from getting towards my vision with my partner. And the final way we get clarity is by writing down what can I start doing and what am I gonna stop doing? Creating a list and committing to doing those things every week. Now, as you can see, it's 5 minutes for each of these sections, which would take you 20 minutes, but I've added an extra 10 minutes in case you need to think more or put more time into this. This will instantly change your relationship, but there's actually something you can do to take it a step further, and it's called the weekly love meeting. This increases the intimacy and connection in your relationship by up to 369%. So go and watch this video right now where I walk you through exactly how the love meeting works and how you can implement it alongside what I've taught you today. And if you got value from this video, feel free to hit subscribe and that little bell icon so we can reach you with more content like this. Go and watch the love meeting video. I hope you enjoy.